Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video today, I'll be talking to you about Zaid ibn Amr ibn Nufayl. So to start the story, we'll start by the Prophet ﷺ being visited by Zaid ibn Zaid radiallahu anh, who was the son of Zaid ibn Amr ibn Nufayl. So Zaid radiallahu anh, he said to the Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know my father Zaid ibn Amr ibn Nufayl. Is he really going to the hellfire? What happens to him? So Sayyid radiallahu anh, he's asking about the condition of his father. So who is Zayd ibn Amr ibn Nufayl? Zayd ibn Amr ibn Nufayl was a man who the Prophet ﷺ knew before the wahi, before the revelation came down. He was one of the very few when shirk, when association and idols were widespread. He was one of the few that said these idols are not real gods. He was one of the very few who said that. So he was amongst a minute group who rejected the idols. Zayd was actually the nephew of Khattab, who was the father of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anh. The Prophet ﷺ reflected, and he remembered a time when he ﷺ was sitting in a gathering with Zayd, and there was meat there. Now we know the Prophet ﷺ never ate meat that was slaughtered in the name of the idol, so he passed and did not eat the food. Zayd, he said, Allah gives you these animals, Allah provides for you from the skies, Allah provides for you all these meats, and then you slaughter in the name of other than Allah. So he would speak out against their customs. Zayd used to make a dua. He would say, "O Allah, if only I knew which path was pleasing to you, excuse me, I would worship you according to that path. But I don't know what it is, O Allah." Then he went down into sajda saying, "O Allah, just guide me to that which is pleasing to you." And we could see, the sincerity of his. He's desperate to worship Allah the way that is most pleasing to Allah. And he's really looking for it, and he really wants it. He was oppressed so much by the people that he left in search of guidance. He found Christianity and Judaism, but he couldn't find that tawheed, that oneness of God. And now we know of the filthy practice among the Arabs, which was burying their daughters alive. Zayd was the one who would go, and before the people could bury their daughters, he would take these girls in, and he would take care of these baby girls until they reached the age of maturity, and he married them off. And you notice here, there's no Quran, no verse of the Quran, no meeting of the Prophet ﷺ, nothing. But he just shows how great of a man he was and what he really felt. It shows that he knew that this was wrong, and he stood against that which was wrong, and he combated it. When the news reached Zayd that the Prophet ﷺ has come out, the wahi had come down, Zayd travels back, but then he dies on the way back. Now imagine, all his life he's looking for this perfect way to worship Allah, and it finally came, but at the end he never got it. But his son Zayd radiallahu anh, fortunately he did get it. Now we'd all think this was a tragic ending for Zayd, but no, it's not. We just have to keep going. So back to the conversation between Zayd radiallahu anh and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Zayd is asking radiallahu anh, he's asking about his father's condition. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "I have seen on the day of judgment the nations will stand behind their prophets." Now, there were 124,000 prophets sent, and amongst them there were 350 messengers. And some will have large groups, and some will have little groups. Particularly Musa alayhi salam, he will have the biggest ummah. The Prophet ﷺ will think that it's Musa alayhi salam's ummah that is the largest. Then the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may we be amongst them, Ameen Rabbil Alameen, will come and they will dwarf the Ummah of Musa alayhi salam. And the Prophet sallallahu, he continues, some prophets will stand with very few followers, some with 7, some with 10, some with 2, some with 1. Now, can you imagine someone who their whole life they called out, and they did da'wah, and they called to the path of God, and only one person followed them. Then Rasulullah said, some prophets will be standing by themselves. No one ever followed them at all. The Prophet ﷺ says to Zaid, Subhanallah, I have seen your father, Zaid ibn Amr ibn Nufayl, standing as a nation on his own. Subhanallah. He will be standing as a nation on his own. You know why? Because it was here. It was right here. It was already there. This just goes to show that if you are sincere to Allah and you want to please Allah, Allah will reward you. And with this, I close. I hope you all have benefited from this video. And if you could, please share this with your friends and your family so this way they may benefit as well. And inshallah ta'ala, until I see you next time, I leave you on peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.